we've got a counterweight. The chain attaches here. Looks like that screws into the end of the counterweight. Comes up through the column. And comes all the way up here to this pulley. Sorry. Comes down. And it attaches to the top of the spindle. I have been soaking these joints and hammering for days. I mean, I've bent a 3/4 inch solid steel bar and come to the conclusion that these are press fits. I think somebody in an earlier video suggested that, and I believe you're right. So I'm not going to go the heat route. I've decided, you know what? This thing is disassembled all the way. So this is as far as I'm going. It's time to start cleaning up the rust, the paint, lubricating the wheels for the chain, see if I can come up with a more robust way. I mean, you know, bicycles were a big thing back in the 1890s, so I'm not surprised to use bicycle chain. And this has a center link, so it's pretty stout. However, where that pin connected to the top link to the top of the spindle just wasn't strong enough. I mean, that thing weighs at least 30 pounds. And, you know, running that thing up and down the column, you know, with the spindle up and down, it just gave way. So I think I'm going to talk to the folks at Bearing Belt and Chain down in Tucson, tell them what I'm dealing with, see if they've got something more robust to connect to that spin or to that counterweight, run through all the pulleys and the mouse maze and everything, and attach to the top of that rack on the spindle something that's stronger, because I'm sure that was a common problem on all these old type of Camelback drill presses. I may or may not have mentioned in the earlier videos about this being part of the power up and down. I don't think that's correct. I think this is strictly gravity. Gravity feed. Could be wrong about that, but as we start putting this back together and I get this properly connected to the spindle, be interesting to see how all this is actually supposed to operate. I did check for patents for Camel, for Champion Blower and Forge on their drill presses, and there's text at length about, you know, how they invented it and did all this stuff and what the concept is behind it. But no real good drawings that show any kind of real significant detail, just kind of an overview drawing is what I could find on the internet. And it was kind of disappointing because I was really looking for an answer, you know, as far as this, if it's part of the power assist or not. But hey, we're just going to figure it out. So it's time to start cleaning rust. So I've got the spindle chucked up in the vise here. We've got a scale, 0 to, looks like 6.5 inches. And all of this turns freely. But we got bearings here, and they're stuck. So I've got to see, it looks like this is set up for a spanner, a pin type spanner. I'm going to see if I can't unscrew this and get this apart and get it all cleaned up. Since I don't have a C-shaped pin type spanner, and these are set up like a jam nut, there's a hole on the opposite side of this one right here. I don't have the type of spanners to try and loosen these, so I am going to try a little punch carefully, and it looks like somebody did that before me. So I'm going to try it, but if it looks like I'm going to deform that hole too much, I'm going to go on eBay and see if I can come up with a spanner set that won't break the bank. That rumbling and roaring you're hearing in the distance is Apache helicopters and all different kinds of combat helicopters at our local military base. Since things started blowing up in the world, they've been conducting flight ops daily right over our house. Well, hey, look at that. All right. That went smoothly. I jammed that scraper in here in the bottom flange, and the bottom of it is up against the workbench to keep this from spinning while I loosen the jam nuts up. I've got this one off, and now I'm unscrewing the other one, and it's coming right off. The threads are beautiful, and we'll see if we can pull this whole assembly out and get to those bearings. So we've got a thrust washer in there between the bearing and this part of the spindle, and that's coming right out. Look how beautiful that shaft is. Once again, this drill press just never ceases to amaze me. Clean as a whistle inside. And we got beautiful bronze bushings. Oops, sorry, I'm probably blinding you. Beautiful, I can't talk. Bronze bushings on both ends. There we go. Just need to clean that up. Yeah, this looks really good inside. And the steel sleeve, or the center of this whole thing, is clean as a whistle also. Just some dirty oil in there from when I was lubing this thing up. Yeah, I like it. Shaft is beautiful. Threads are beautiful. Now this end here is what I'm after. And it's all gummy and sticky right now. So I'm going to get this chucked up in the vise now and see if we can work all that loose. By the way, this whole part of the shaft here was nice and snug inside these bronze bushings. There was no slop at all. Yeah, it was a nice tight fit. So let's see if I can get that. Oh yeah, that comes loose. I gotta see. Oh, okay. Those ball bearings are captivated in there. Let me show you how. Because that angle doesn't do you any good. Pretty simple ball bearing arrangement. The way they're caged, they just took the outer sheet metal housing and they indented them between each ball just to captivate the ball inside the main body of the bearing. So now I'm going to see how this unscrews or just comes loose and get those to soaking. Well, in typical fashion, I just gripped those with a pair of channel locks and just started twisting, and they came immediately loose. I didn't deform the sheet metal jacket of the bearing. That's just the dirt that's on the outer part of that bearing there that started to crunch when I gripped it. So that's all fine. So what I'm going to do is stand this up, slide this stuff off the end of the shaft, and get it in the parts washer and start cleaning it up, and then we'll get some probably emery cloth, maybe some steel wool. We'll just see what works and start cleaning it up. This is not attached separately to that shaft. That's just machined right there on the end. There's no threaded joint or anything there. That's just solid. They machined this shaft down out of, I don't know, maybe some kind of Durabar or something like that they had back in the day. You know, this was the full diameter, and they just machined the shaft out of it and threaded it, and then did some more machining, and then broached it for this keyway here. Beautiful piece of machinery from over machining from over 100 years old. Well, I was just checking some analytics on my channel, and I discovered I'm 2 subscribers away from 700. I mean, the last time I looked here, you know, a week or so ago, it was like about 675, 677, something like that. And boom, here we are about to broach 700 subscribers. So if you're new here, thanks. Thanks for joining us. You're welcome here, and feel free to banter with us in the comments. And and to my dedicated group of existing subscribers, you know, that have been hanging with me all this time, you know, again, thanks for sticking around. That was kind of surprised me. Almost 700. Of course, we'll see how many bail out after they watch this video series. Well, okay, as you can probably discern by now that I'm putting an end to this video here. Try to keep the length under control. Made, again, really good progress here, and of course you heard me explain earlier, I've reached as far as I'm going to go, as far as that column in the upper part of the drill press. At this point, I don't want to risk damaging anything. I don't have any heavy ship fitting or machine shop equipment to try and separate that, and there's really no need to. All the guts are out of it. So now I'm working on the drill press spindle, get that all apart, get that cleaned up, and we're going to start the laborious cleaning and reassembly process, which means I got to get cracking here and see if I can find some kind of electric motor, single phase, 220 volt, that's got enough juice to roll this thing over. So with that, thanks for joining me. Again, welcome new subscribers, and we'll see you all real soon, part 8. So yeah, take care. We'll talk to you later.